Again, you can draw a lot of inspiration from rain. That just made
Yeah.
we just made the point.
All right. Now, okay, I'm also going to start a podcast called Rain Talks, where we
Ooh, yes,
listen to the rain.
to the rain
I
and songs about the rain and poetry about the rain and
I feel,
yeah.
I'm joking, but I feel like that would be a great, a way that people would listen and to relax at night and to go to sleep. No, and
Well, think about how many people actually, and I'm one of those people
yeah,
that have like an app like Calm or something to listen to fake rain on their phone to calm
exactly.
them down to
Yes.
sleep. I mean,
Yeah, no,
it's a thing.
we got something. And I don't mind people
hmm
falling asleep.
There's a business idea there.
Yeah, yeah. You
hmm
fall asleep to listen to me. That's fine. You can dream about me for all I care.
Exactly.
Whatever.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of groovy. In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of groovy. I call you up and ask you if you like to go with me and see a movie. First you said no, you got some plans for tonight, and then you stop and say, all right.
Welcome to Casting for Two, the podcast, as always hosted by me, Chris. Welcome everybody to episode number 373. How's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy and not bored, or maybe you found a new hobby. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, whatever you're doing, feel free to let me know. Twitter and Instagram, both at Casting for Two. And yeah, let's keep each other entertained. Why not? We're all in this together. My guest today, though, phenomenal singer, songwriter, musician, all that jazz. Michelle Ariane is on the podcast today. And she also has a new single that just came out a couple days ago, Finally Be Me. It's available on all streaming platforms, and I recommend everyone go check that out. But first, let's listen to my conversation with Michelle, shall we? So sit back, relax, and Michelle, take it away. I was a little freaking out because I was entering your phone number and nothing was happening, and I go, wait a second.
Yes.
Yes. I put my brain on like Tom Cruise in any of the Da Vinci movies, and I figured it out.
It's always this thing. I always get nervous the moment it's an international call because it's just, you never know what so many random things could go wrong. Like I've once had, I had a phone meeting with someone in England, and England goes into daylight savings time before we do.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for an entire hour thinking this person stood me up, but actually they were just talking about a different time.
Oh, jeez. So where are you right now?
Right now I am in Basel, Switzerland.
Okay, and what time is it over there?
10 p.m.
Oh my gosh, so this is late.
Yeah, well, it's late. It's dark. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, is it late for you? And you can be honest. Are you like zoning out, or is it? Are you still awake?
I'm still very much awake. Right now, I tend to. I'm a big night person. I tend to work until 2 a.m.
Okay.
I'm a terrible morning person.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this whole late night working is really working in my favor, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Okay. Great. Now, are you one of the people who, have you always been a night person? Or is this more
I don't know
recent?
if I've always been a night person, but I've definitely never been a morning person.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all. Like, I've always I've learned to survive in the morning and be ready to go if it's 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. or whatever. But I've definitely noticed over the past 10 years that I'm just a lot more productive if it's in like from I always tell everyone the moment the clock strikes like 1 p.m. I'm good for 12 to 13 hours of pure creativity and productive things.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just gonna ask because I know some people are forced to be night people because they simply can't turn off their brains and just relax.
Oh, I know people like that. I can turn it off and relax at any point in time. I think because I've traveled so much, time is kind of fluid. You know, if you go back and forth between the European and the American continent,
Right.
it becomes very kind of less defined. So I just learned to kind of be able to relax when my surroundings let me relax or when I create space to relax.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, I was talking with the other Michelle earlier. She was saying that you recently went to a retreat.
Yes, I just came back yesterday.
Okay. Well, now, were you just attending? Were you teaching? Were you?
I was invited, so it was a retreat organized by the Aftertouch music label, which is a music label that's based out of Nashville.
Oh, okay.
And I was invited by coincidence and thanks to a good friend, and we were 20 people essentially sitting in a decently cold schoolhouse.
There we go.
Writing every single day. With like every day there's a new set group of 2 or 3 people that you're writing with. And so you get to meet a bunch of people from all around. This time it was all around Europe and the States that made the time to get together and write some really creative and amazing songs together.
Okay. What was the main takeaway you had from that experience?
It's a good question. I guess it's a lesson that I always consider to be a life lesson of mine, which is not to try to control things. Specifically, like when a song, I think a song will tell you what it wants to say, and you just need to create the space for it to be creative. And sometimes I really like to control things, and then it kind of freezes the creativity in the room. So there have been moments where I'm like, oh, all I need to do is just chill out, and things will kind of just come.
Gotcha. Okay.
If that's a good takeaway.
No, I feel like that's a good life lesson in general. Things are inherently out of our grasp, and we have to be okay with that.
Exactly.
Even though it's
Take
hard.
it one day at a time.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bummer.
Very, very true. But I think if you look at life that way, you know, if you just let life be and give it your best, it's just like with the song. It will kind of go in the direction it was meant to be, or at least that's what I truly believe, and that's kind of been my experience as well. If I let go and trust in the process, I'm always happy where I turn out in the end.
Exactly. Do you know the actor Bill Murray?
Oh my, yes, I love Bill Murray.
Okay, good. He has this philosophy. It's his whole thing is it just doesn't matter, and it's that philosophy of anything could happen at any moment. We're out of control of everything, so all we have to do is just be living and be present. And so he has that motto: it just doesn't matter. And he's a wise man.
He is. Yeah.
But you know, enough about Bill Murray. I'm here to talk. I'm here to talk about you. I could talk about Bill Murray. Oh, you know,
Oh, goody.
no, Bill Murray.
Oh, I could talk about Bill Murray. We can. I'm totally open.
Okay. So let's write a song about Bill Murray. No, I'm just kidding.
Bill Murray. Yes. There we go. Let me just grab my guitar. Let's get to it.
All right, there we go. No, I'm curious. When did you catch the music bug?
That's always such a difficult question to answer.
Mm-hmm.
I would say music has always kind of just, this is a cliche answer. Music has always been around me,
Mm-hmm.
which is true. You know, my family and I, we would sing all the time. We sing on road trips, and we'd sing doing the dishes, and it would always be we'd sing to literally every Barbara Streisand song
Yeah.
or Celine Dion song or ABBA or John Denver, like knew all the lyrics. But I never knew it could be a career choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I always decided, to do the sensible thing and get something more, I don't know, something you can rely on more,
Right,
something less
right.
adventurous. But when I was in my teens, I had this final performance as a how do you explain it, as a semester exam where I had to sing in front of the whole school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never the popular kid. And I sang Celine Dion Think Twice with a friend of mine, and we got a standing ovation.
Oh.
And people knew my name after that. So I was mind blown that I could just sit there and sing a 4-minute song, and people would later remember me for that. And so that's kind of when the door opened to, like, maybe I should get into this. Like, this sounds like some fun. So ever since then, I just stuck to singing, and then later on opened myself up even more to in-depth songwriting.
Okay. And what is your songwriting process like?
Every song is different.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of co-writing.
Okay.
When I write myself, I generally just sit at a piano, playing to some chords until something sticks. But when I write with other people, I love to get to know them and what their story is, and see if we have things in common, or if something that is happening in their life it has a song in it. Sometimes we just rewrite, like this retreat. We said let's write out of the perspective of the rain, and so we just did a flow write of about 15 minutes where every writer sat there and wrote out a bunch of songs, just their thoughts on it, and you end up having these good little bits that you end up using in the lyric, and it became this power ballad of overcoming something. So it wasn't about the rain in the end, but you got the inspiration from it, which, in Ireland it rains a lot, so rain has to be your primary inspiration at some point.
I would love. Okay, so me personally, I'm going to go to Ireland and find like the sounds of rain at the local CD store and just pick up every song that's devoted to rain.
Yes, you should.
Because I'm a fan of rain. I grew up in Oregon where it rains a lot.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, I might be preaching to the choir, but there's nothing like a good rain and then the smell that happens.
Yes. But also, like, that's why Oregon is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because of the rain, which makes it so green. Same with Ireland. And Switzerland, we get plenty of rain too, just not as much as Oregon. And having lived in California, I remember people were so excited that it was raining in Los Angeles, and I got outside and I'm like, this isn't even a drizzle, people. Like, the concrete didn't even get wet enough, to actually become a solid, darker color.
Right.
So I actually enjoyed the rain. It can be kind of cold at times, and I love sunshine, but there's something very calming about it.
When I was growing up, I would just leave the window open when it would rain, just because it's soothing. It's a nice sound. I live in Texas now, and people are like, "Oh, it's gonna rain." I'm like, "This is nothing." Yeah, again, it's like this is a
Yeah.
drizzle at best.
Exactly.
Yep. I don't know. But yeah, there's something about the Pacific Northwest and like a nice peaceful rain that it'll be here 5 minutes and then it'll be gone. But it'll be back. Stuff like that. But
Well, and then on top of that, you have you can have the beautiful thunderstorms and the summer storms. My dad's from the Midwest, so I spent a lot of summers in Minnesota with my grandparents and my cousins, and I remember we have thunderstorms here in Switzerland, but Minnesota takes it to a whole new level, and it's this gorgeous, just like this power of nature outside that I find exhilarating, especially if you have that humid heat of summer and then have that storm that cools you down. So yeah, again, you can draw a lot of inspiration from rain. That just made we just made the point.
All right, now I'm also going to start a podcast called Rain Talks, where we listen to the rain.
To the rain and songs about the rain and poetry about the rain and.
I feel, I'm joking, but I feel like that would be a great a way that people would listen and to relax at night and to go to sleep.
Well, think about how many people actually, and I'm one of those people, that have like an app like Calm or something to listen to fake rain on their phone to calm them down to sleep. I mean, it's a thing.
We got something. And I don't mind people falling asleep.
There's a business idea there.
Yeah. You fall asleep to listen to me. That's fine. You could dream about me for all I care.
Exactly.
Whatever. Okay. Okay. I'm glad I'm recording this, so I don't have to write it down.
Please do. I do. I claim 10% of that business idea. I'm just saying.
How do you get 10% of nothing? This is free. Okay.
That's my life right there. That's my life right there.
How could I make money off of nothing? That's the artist's way.
Yes.
But let's see. Oh, and then so going back to all the music that you would sing when you were growing up, did it take you a while to find your particular style, or was there one artist or group that you kind of latched on to a little bit more?
Oh my gosh. I mean, my father, I think it's because he's an expat American living in Switzerland. He made us listen to so much country on the road trip.
Okay.
And then my mother made us, and then with my mom, we were made to listen to Barbra Streisand and Celine, all the big powerhouses, Tina Turner, Whitney Houston. And I always loved any song that told a story. Like for me, it's always about the storytelling. Combined with some really powerhouse vocals. That for me was like the biggest, greatest combination ever. But it took forever to find my sound and who am I as a singer. So I think it wasn't until I discovered this artist called Brandi Carlile, who's just recently getting way more recognized since she won her Grammys last year. She's always been the underdog to music, and great vocalist, powerhouse of a voice, and fantastic stories that she writes with the twins. And she never compromises her integrity in order to win in the music business. And I think that I latched onto. I latched onto them being really true to who they are and their vision as artists, songwriters, and singers, and just sticking with it for decades, a decade and a half, and it paying off now was something that kind of resonates with me. So that's what I try to do with my music.
Okay. As far as now, you sing and play. Well, you mentioned piano, and then but you play guitar as well.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the first song you played on guitar?
First song I learned to play on guitar was a Swiss German song called Hapskuit, which is kind of a goodbye song where you say goodbye to your friend. And then shortly after, I think, Blowing in the Wind on guitar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then piano, I don't remember. No, I don't remember my first piano song, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. As far as I'm fascinated with people who can write songs and all that jazz, but I am curious, as a person who's been doing this for a while, do you ever look back at your early on work and just say, look, I don't know what I was thinking?
Oh gosh, yes. I also kind of keep being amazed about how much I'm a fan of cheesy music lines at times.
Okay.
Where I'm like, oh, that's like, I don't know if it's the Swiss in me, but I definitely like some cheesy vocal lines. But to be honest, at the same time, I also look at it as being, it's a representation of who I was. So it represents my growth since then, or so I hope at least. Where I say, okay, I kind of try to take it for what it is. If I didn't write that song with that cheesy line, I wouldn't have learned and evolved and come up with a little less cheesy lines. Still cheesy, but a little less.
Right.
So I'm always, I like to look back most of the times. I don't think I have a cringe. Maybe I have a few songs where I cringe a little bit, but none that I've recorded that are out there in the world, thankfully.
Gotcha. Does part of you want to take one of those cringy songs and just like, you know what? I can take this back about unicorns and I don't know, cheese. I can make this relevant to today.
I think you could, if you put a good beat, if you put a good beat under something, you could probably make cheese and unicorns and rainbows sound pretty good to anyone.
Yeah.
Would I be very proud of it? That's the other question. that I don't know.
So Garth Brooks had his darker self, Chris something. I forgot his name. I'm just saying you could have your other side, and
my cheese and unicorn side.
Exactly. You can have a whole nother Twitter, Instagram page, like. Serious. What was his name? I forgot what it was.
I actually just recently learned about this about Garth Brooks' darker side. I saw an interview, and I didn't know this before. I knew who was it? I think doesn't Beyonce have where she has "I Am Sasha Fierce"?
Isn't that what? Also? Is she what?
I thought maybe don't quote me on this one.
Okay.
Cut it if I lied. Let me see. I thought I saw an interview with her where she recorded a record and she said these are kind of the songs that she wanted to kind of get out of the image of Beyonce. Oh. And that's when she created, doesn't she have a record called Sasha Fierce or something?
Oh, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm not up to date with my Beyonce. When she left Destiny's Child, that's when everything went downhill for me personally. And I
love some of her singles. Again, like the song "Listen," and she has this beautiful song where she, I think it's called "I Was Here," where she talks about wanting to have left her footprint on this world. I'm like, I can connect with that, but generally, I am. I know what you mean in certain degrees.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Some stuff I'm just like, you know what? I'm happy it exists. I'm glad people love it. I'll just let that be there. Mm-hmm. That's
and her voice is just out of this world to me.
Oh yeah, no, very phenomenal,
I'm just
talented.
Like, I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll always give her props for that. But for the people at home who would like to keep up with everything that you're doing, follow you online, listen to the music, anything, where can they do all of that?
So all my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are generally under Michelle Ariane Official, which, you know, I couldn't come up with a longer name, so that's why I picked that. So it's Michelle, L-L-E at the end, and then A-R-I-A-N-E. And I generally update everything there, from music and live shows coming up and music videos and stuff like that. And, of course, my mailing list is the best way to stay up to date, which you can join on my website, michelleariane.com.
There we go. And that's where I can find the news on your Bill Murray / rain song / unicorn cheese rainbow song.
Yes, 100%. Give it a few days and it'll be up.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'll check tomorrow. No worries. I'll just keep checking.
You wait till tomorrow. Okay.
But Michelle, thank you so much for the wonderful chat.
Well, thank you for taking the time. This was wonderful.
Of course. I'll let you go do more productive night stuff. But anytime you want to come back for a chat, I'd be happy to welcome you back.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me.
Of course. But you have a good rest of your night.
And you have a good rest of your afternoon.
There we go. All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.